When we talk about the world's most dangerous cities, people often imagine war zones or active front lines. But as human rights experts, we see something even more frightening: the complete collapse of state protection. In the cities we will discuss today, danger is not just a high crime rate. It is a system where the law has stopped existing for the average person, where criminal syndicates, corrupt officials, and armed gangs have more power than the courts and police combined. For someone caught in a conflict in such places, there is simply no one to turn to for help. Today, we will look at the top 5 cities where your life is at risk and reveal the truth that travel brochures will never tell you. We are country witness experts from London, focusing on human rights violations. Our job is to do deep research and prepare a country expert report. This report identifies the real risks if the person returns home. It helps the court understand why the person needs international protection. If you are going through the asylum process in the UK, the US, Canada, or Europe, and are looking for a country witness expert, you can find a wide network of highly qualified experts at the Human Rights Experts. The link is in the description. The 5th point on our list is Ciudad Guayana, Venezuela. We begin our list with a city where economic collapse became a catalyst for systemic violence. It is important to understand there is no simple street crime here. There is a shadow power. Ciudad Guayana is a key hub in Bolivar state where, according to Insight Crime, armed gangs known as Pranatos completely control resource extraction and logistics. Human Rights Watch reports on this region record a complete merging of criminal structures with local authorities. Gangs do not act against the law, but with the support or silent consent of the security forces. For an ordinary citizen, this means that state protection does not exist. Any conflict with a representative of the Pranatos or a refusal to pay a survival tax automatically deprives a person of safety, as the police themselves are often part of this criminal hierarchy. The 4th point on our list is Irapuato, Mexico. From an expert assessment perspective, this city is a classic example of how a cartel war for control over infrastructure and supply routes completely paralyzes civil security. Irapuato became an arena for a brutal confrontation between the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, and the Santa Rosa de Lima cartel. As Human Rights Watch notes in its reports, in such conflict zones, the civilian population becomes hostage to tactics of mass kidnappings and armed attacks on public places, including bars and rehabilitation centers. The risk here is indiscriminate. A person can become a target for extortion or a random victim of an attack simply by being in the wrong place. According to an analysis by the International Crisis Group, law enforcement agencies in the state of Guanajuato are often unable to resist organized crime, which makes the risk to life in this city extreme and state protection virtually non-existent. The 3rd point on our list is Ciudad Victoria, Mexico. This city is a territory caught in the grip of long-term internal wars between factions of once united cartels. From the position of a human rights expert, Ciudad Victoria is a zone of total paralysis of justice. As emphasized in Amnesty International reports, an atmosphere of fear reigns here, making it impossible for witnesses to work or for complaints to be filed. We analyze the situation in this city as a classic example of the impossibility of obtaining protection. The local police are either completely demoralized or under the control of criminal structures, which is confirmed by Human Rights Watch data. When law enforcement agencies are powerless and witnesses are scared to death, a person is left alone with the violence. In Ciudad Victoria, the law enforcement system does not just fail, it stops performing its function of protecting citizens' lives. The 2nd point on our list is Caracas, Venezuela. This is a city where a unique and extremely dangerous combination is recorded. A critical level of street crime is intertwined with politicized violence. The main risk factor here is the activity of the colectivos. As the UN Human Rights Commission indicates in its reports, these armed groups loyal to the regime effectively replace the police, using violence to control the population and suppress any dissent. It is important to understand, when violence comes from structures supported by the state, protection within the country becomes impossible. According to Human Rights Watch, colectivos act with complete impunity, often coordinating their actions with security forces. For an asylum seeker, this means that there are no quiet neighborhoods in Caracas, and the state itself turns from a guarantor of security into a source of threat. This makes internal relocation pointless. If you are persecuted in Caracas, you will not be safe in any other part of Venezuela. But before moving to the most dangerous city on our list, let me introduce myself. My name is Maxim. I am a country witness expert specializing in human rights violations. I personally also received political asylum. I am the founder of the Human Rights Experts. Since March 2022, we, a team composed of over 20 experts, have been creating expert reports for asylum applicants. Our expertise covers all key regions of the world, including Africa, Asia, Latin America, Eastern Europe, and the Middle East. Our expert reports are regularly commissioned by major law firms to help the court and authorities explain the specific country context of human rights violations in the applicant's country of origin, who are applying for asylum in the US, UK, Canada, and EU countries. If you are in the process of seeking asylum, remember, objective evidence confirming the risk of persecution is critically important for your case. Hire an expert witness via the link in the description below. The final, most dangerous city on our list is Tijuana, Mexico. The city is the epicenter of transnational organized crime, where the murder rate consistently remains one of the highest on the planet. As Human Rights Watch reports, there is a nearly complete paralysis of the judicial system in Tijuana. More than 90% of crimes remain unsolved, creating an atmosphere of absolute impunity for criminals. A key factor here is that cartel structures in Tijuana have a massive reach. Amnesty International reports emphasize that in such conditions, the concept of internal relocation becomes impossible. If a person becomes a target of persecution in Tijuana, they will not be able to find a safe haven in other parts of Mexico, as the influence of the groups operating here is national in scope. This makes Tijuana a city where the right to life is effectively unprotected, and escaping within the country does not guarantee safety. The cities on our list are different, but they share one thing: human rights do not work there. The law either protects the strong or exists only on paper. In such conditions, the state is not a support, but often the threat itself. People flee these places not for comfort, but because staying means risking their lives every day. When you realize that neither the police nor the system will protect you, the choice becomes very simple. This is a reality happening right now, every day, and the only reason some of these people are alive today is that they managed to leave. Many others did not get that chance.